All right, and I think we are live. I didn't think I was going to get one of these done today. I had some other stuff that I thought was going to take me a lot more time to do than it did, and had an engagement get rescheduled today. So I'm actually going to be able to do one of these. Worried I wasn't, but it's all good now. So since most of you chime in after this has gone up, you're not catching it live. Please remember to subscribe down below. Join my Orc Army down below. Follow me on Instagram and use my Amazon affiliate link. Let's get over to this. Hello, Tim. Yeah, Tim, try to get current with my stuff, Tim. Remember, I don't talk about other YouTubers. I don't care. So just keep that in mind. I live my life as if I am the only fitness YouTuber in existence, and that includes even people who make videos about me. I don't watch them. Years ago, I cut that out. All right, up to 19 people. Get those likes up, guys. Get more likes. 19 people jumped in. 4 of you hit like. Let's get some engagements. There we go. All right. James, when to deload? When are you scheduled to deload? Do you have signs of overreaching? Are you going on vacation? Do you have tendons that hurt? There's a big one, James. Do you have a single tendon that hurts anywhere in your body? Deload. Okay. Bicep tendon hurts, tricep tendon hurts, knee tendon hurts. You have a hip that's inflamed, deload immediately. Don't wait 2 weeks. Great time to deload when you have life that gets in the way. You got vacation scheduled, travel scheduled. Tim, no one cares about tonnage. Completely irrelevant. That's why you kind of wasted your time making that program. You wasted hours of your life on something that has no relevancy whatsoever to your results. Sorry. I mean, I hate to have to tell you that. It doesn't matter. If tonnage was what we cared about, we do nothing but 50 rep sets. We would have amazing tonnages. Kingslayer JB, that squat was solid and no knee sleeves. Yep. We're doing pretty good. The training there is going good. That's one reason I'm not super worried about squatting. I'm gifted at squatting. I don't have to push it that hard. I really don't. I'm going to make my bench and deadlift a bigger priority. The extent of my squat training for me to break world records at this point is going to be do some heavy singles and do, 5-6 sets a week on my belt squat. Some sled drags. That's it. This might be too novice answer, but how do you program progression on supplemental lifts? Do you go by RPE or something like that? You don't need to program them. You don't need to program them as long as you're getting appropriate volume and appropriate fatigue and, getting within a few reps of failure with the right amount of volume, your supplemental lifts are programmed. That's it. That's all you have to do. People overthink their accessory work. Why is almond milk junk? It isn't a good source of vitamin E. It's just a highly refined food with no protein. Like, why would you think that would be useful? Okay. You've taken all the good stuff out of almonds and flushed them down the toilet, and you squeeze some juice out to make a refined food. What's the reason we eat almonds, Marco? What's the benefit? The quality fats, the fiber. So you just threw all that in the dumpster. Usually we drink milk. One of the reasons we drink milk is protein. Almond milk isn't milk. It's nut juice. And it's just most nut milks, nut juices, I think, I would describe them as just junk food. They're just like vegan junk food, really. What's the point? What could be one of the reasons why one of the adductors could hurt heavy after squatting? You haven't built it up correctly, you've overstretched it, or you've got an overuse problem. Jason, is there any merit to overreaching the week leading up to a deload? Not necessarily. I mean, Ben, we could argue there is, but you know what? I don't think it's going to matter that much. Sorry, it's overhead press asked that. Right? Is 3,500 calories too many if I'm trying to stay the same weight to eat and get stronger with your 5x5? James, I don't know your maintenance calories. If you want to stay the same weight, you need to eat your maintenance calories, and your maintenance calories will change. Also, why are you doing that? You need to be bulking or cutting. Why are you maintaining? Maintenance equals no progress. Think of it that way. You go to maintenance calories when you're 100% happy with your body composition, muscle, strength, physique, everything. You say, I am perfect. I am 100% perfect, and I don't want to make any progress. That's when you maintain. That's the reason for maintenance. One of my orc warriors, hey, Jason, do either deadlifts or RDLs count much towards upper back volume in terms of balancing out your pressing volume? I think they do. They especially help with traps. Good point, Jason. Is part of tonnage, though, to have an increase over time at the appropriate? No. Tim, don't worry about tonnage. Like, just forget about it as a variable at all. There you go. Problem solved. Now you can focus on quality reps and fatigue. I might be wrong, but did you say in today's vlog that the hamstrings are a limiting factor on your deadlift? They are sometimes for me, yeah. If you look at where I slow, the hamstrings tend to kind of determine where my max deadlift is. Usually that or grip. My grip is good enough from the chins and pull-ups and probably more dead hangs that I'm probably not going to run into grip problems till I start pushing well up into the 600s again, though, for singles. So I may not be worried. Grip, I have to do extra grip training when I'm up past 600 usually. But dead hangs will probably sort that for me. Which is your personal favorite of the 5-3-1 variations? The original, boring but big. For 5x5, how many warm-up sets should I hit before? I don't know. Fuck, man, you guys think about warm-up sets? Jesus Christ. I don't even think about warm-up sets, to be honest. It's not something I'll be honest with you, it's not something I put a lot of thought into, even in my own training. Like, how do I warm up for a 550 deadlift? I do one rep with 315. I do a rep with 405. That's what I do at meets too, by the way. Like, I do my first warm-up rep with 315, then I do a 405 single, then a 500, and then I pull. That's literally how I warm up for a max deadlift. I don't think about warm-ups a whole lot, to be honest with you. Why are you bald? Let's see. Combination of genetics, because my grandpa was bald, and that I shaved my head on top of it. That combination takes all the hair off my head. What a fucktarded idiot question. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Wow. I mean, I hate to have to insult someone like that in the comments, but wow, you're a blithering idiot. Any idea of where to start weight-wise with a sled? Weight that's challenging for 2 minutes of dragging, to get your heart rate up. Is 25% body fat causing high blood pressure? My diet's pretty decent. Maybe, but conditioning will usually sort that total body weight. Is this my client, Tristan, by the way? Didn't we just talk about that in Messenger? For general strength, should you prioritize chin-ups or pull-ups more? I don't know. I like both. Pick one. Which one feels best on your shoulders? Which one addresses your weak links a little more? I think for general strength, they're equally good. I tore my pec is why I'm asking about warm-ups. Just don't want to get hurt. It's not lack of warm-ups that causes you to tear your pec. It's overuse. It's probably a weak link at the bottom. Overuse, not pause benching, too much bouncing, right? Not training the stretch position correctly. That's what tears pecs. It's not lack of warm-ups that did it. Would holding onto the axle bar be good grip work for deadlift, or just do dead hang? Do dead hangs. I mean, Marco, which one's going to hurt your recovery more? Which one's better for your recovery, the dead hang? If you're going to mess with an axle bar, go ahead and do a dynamic lift with it. Okay, you're going to get more out of it. Right? You're going to get more grip training with less weight and less axial loading if you just go ahead and lift it and do stuff with it. Because you can hold more weight if you're just holding it stagnant. And that's not improving grip more. But the dead hang, if you're just going to do something static, the dead hang puts you into traction. Do you have any seasonal athletes on and off seasons? Do you program slow bulks through the seasons and then use the off season to cut and reset? It's more individual. It's completely based on the individual. And yes. Hey, Jason, in competition, you squat high bar or low bar? Do you find anything out of a low bar? Harry Andrew, I actually did high bar at this last meet. Yes, I get more out of low bar. But that's one reason I'm adjusting what I'm doing with my shoulders a little so that I can go ahead and get my squat up real high again. I'm 18 and bald. Who cares exactly, King? I don't know. What weirdos. Which program should I run as an athletic teenager? 2.0 original. I also want personal training. Well, you can't get coaching and training and run a cookie cutter program. You need to pick one. Now, if you want me to coach you, send me a message. I do not have slots open. James, the same thing. Your question there. As far as coaching, I don't have slots open, but I am taking applications. I will be taking clients at the end of the month. But at this very moment, like this week, I'm full. I'm totally full. But again, get in an application, and I will be taking people around the end of the month. As far as the other question goes with the 2.0 or the original, what's your lifestyle like? Okay, you're healthy, a teenager, that could push you in the direction of the original. Are you willing to bulk? Do you sleep? Do you have good stress management? Then run the original. Jason, in what situation would you recommend taking steroids? That's that's a personal question for you, Monkey. That's a highly individual situation. I can't tell you how to live your life. Dude, your Facebook was spam last. Yeah, it's Lane. One of my friends sent me a message to let me know, and I got up and I blocked him. He's deleted all his posts. That's normal. That happens all the time, dude. Hey, Jason, I'm following your linear hypertrophy program and it's wondering what to do if 65% of all max is not possible with the weights available. Do I upscale or downscale? Use fractional plates. Any doubt, round it down, I guess. Dead hang for a longer time or dead hang with more weights, which is better for grip strength? Just more time. Don't do weights. You'll end up hurting yourself. I know because I've done it. No, most girls. No, they don't. Nova, where do you guys come up with this silly shit? You guys have weird, oh, whatever. Another troll. User. You guys have weird ideas about girls. That's why you're all virgins. I enjoy deficit deadlifts and don't want to switch back to conventional until I stall. Seeing its great range of motion, it better to build muscle. Yeah, but your max strength, you need to train the normal conventional too. Why don't you just use deficits as a assistance movement? Coach Blaha, I recently turned 28 and I always heard the growth production slows drastically at this age. I haven't trained seriously in years that I missed my prime. No. So what are you going to do, Mikey? Even if you did, Mikey, let's assume that your gains are now cut in half due to your age. So what are you going to do? Just not train? What are you going to do? Worry about it? Are you going to cry about it? And here's the other thing. If you honestly believe that you're going to get less gains because of your age, you have now created a situation where you will get less gains because of your age. Okay. You basically, what I'm reading from what you wrote, you have fucked yourself. You need to go see a therapist now to undo the damage that you've done with the fake programming in your brain that is going to cost you gains. You're going to have to get in front of a mirror every day and remind yourself that isn't true. Because if you don't, you've now subconsciously created a bullshit excuse to gain less muscle, and you will live out that programming that you put into your brain. So you're basically fucked already. Sorry. It's too late, man. You done fucked yourself with these weird ideas. You need to learn to lie to yourself and say that you have top tier genetics and that you're in your prime. Do you know that if you do that, even if it's a lie, that you'll gain more muscle according to the research? It'll actually make you gain more. Like even if you lie to yourself about your genetics, it will positively or negatively affect your progress in the gym, according to the studies. You just do, Lane, just tell yourself, I have the best genetics in the world. And if you can convince yourself of that, you will actually gain more muscle. Not my opinion, that is what the studies show. James, I don't understand. James, you keep asking these questions about maintenance. Do you not understand how bulking and cutting works? Look, when you're in a surplus, you gain. When you're in a deficit, you lose. It's nothing to do with too little for powerlifting. You bulk and cut in powerlifting, right? Wow, someone, Bruce Piona, come back live. You need to go, dude. You're a moron. Bye. We don't need people that stupid in the comments. Bye. Jason, what do you think of Ashwanda? It seems to be complete bullshit. Hey, coach, planning to get back to BJJ this week. Thanks, 2 BJJ sessions per week on top of the 3-day squat, bench, deadlift, split sessions. Excessive, even if I'm eating enough, still have strength goals. No, I don't think it's excessive. Program it. Watch your fatigue management. Is it advantageous to lift at 15? Yes. Yes, you will be bigger and stronger and have better bone density as a result of it. What's up, Jason? Just hit 4 reps on bench. 1+ week, had another 1 to 2 reps left in the tank. Bump the training max only a tiny amount. You didn't hit 5 reps. Don't bump it much. Bump it 5 pounds, maybe. If you only hit 2 or 3 reps, I wouldn't bump it at all. At least for my clients, I usually don't. I'll make them repeat that cycle. Make them repeat that cycle. All right, I'm going to stop talking until we get more likes. We have over 3 people watching for every like, which is a good time for me to get caught up on water and pretend there's no questions while we get some engagement. Beautiful. I eat 3,000 calories a day. My weight gain has stopped, coach. I'm having trouble adding food. Can I have fruit juice? Why don't you add more fat? If you add more fat to your diet, that's the easy solution. It's healthier. Get better nutrition out of it. You've mentioned target weights for Signifor or the Rut 61. I don't know. Paul, that's the sort of stuff that I would honestly, you guys are trying to pick lifetime goals for something you need to be worrying about this year and next year and the year after. I'm not coaching you. I don't know your training history. I don't know how much muscle you have. I don't know your rates of gain. I can't really give you that number. I don't know what body fat you're willing to live with. You see the issue? But I'm going to tell you right now, at 6'1", anything sub 200 pounds, you were not even close to your drug-free potential. Not even in the ballpark. Can you do high rep band work for tendon blood flow every day and not impair recovery? Sometimes we do phases of that, but I don't necessarily recommend it long-term every day. No. Hey, Jason, when should I be concerned health-wise about my body weight? I'm 5'9", 198 with a waist circumference of 39.5, both in fed states. I deadlift 495, strict overhead press. You pick the lifts that are least correlated with body weight and muscle mass there to tell me. I'm going to say if your waist is that big, you're probably a little tubby. You're probably a little bit tubby, bro. Might be time to cut. a little bit and then bulk back up. James, I answer this all the time in videos. You don't know your exact surplus. Bump the scale, watch the scale, adjust your calories when you stall. Okay, it's that simple, right? Unless you're doing an aggressive bulk or cut, as soon as your weight stalls, add a couple hundred calories to whatever you're doing because it's dynamic. You're not going to know your exact surplus. Okay, you don't even know your exact calories. Just bump it a little bit every time you stall. If you want just a slow general upward trend. Ryan, yeah, I think in general all these movements can build upper back, especially in the context of volume deadlifting. It's all context dependent, by the way. Again, would I trust chin-ups alone with very low volume pulling? Probably not. I might not. But when there's plenty of deadlifting volume there, I think it's acceptable. I think it'll definitely get it done. Hey, Jason, if my last squat rep takes 3+ seconds, do I still have weight next section or need to hit all reps clean? Yeah, that's a grinder. I don't know, George. I mean, how many total reps did you get? And what system are you talking about? Olive oil, 1 or 2 tablespoons is work. I don't know. You could add nut butters too. Get even better nutrition that way. Peanut butter, almond butter, high fat dairy. You're thinking just in terms of adding oils. You're thinking in terms of adding refined foods. Why don't you pick whole foods that are higher in fat? There you go. Are band face pulls better than rope face pulls? The data would suggest possibly. I hurt my elbow yesterday from doing cleans as GBP. Today I only got 1 rep on the 3+ set of bench because of the pain. What do I do now, coach? Maybe don't do cleans for GPP then, I guess. You're going to have to let it heal. You got an overuse issue with it, though. You went a little too hard in the GPP. If you're hurting your elbow doing cleans as GPP, you're probably going too heavy. Jason, currently ill with a flu bug, 5 days off the gym now, driving me crazy as it's better to rest. Will training help speed up recovery? Reading mixed articles on it. If you got the flu, keep your ass in bed until you're healed. Then train. Don't try to train with the flu. This is not good. Will you only do weighted shins on squat day? I also said you might do some strict curls on deadlift day. I'll float around with it, King. I'm probably going to lean in that direction with it. But at the end of the day, it's accessory work. I can change my mind randomly as long as I get the desired stimulus. Thoughts on coaches with kinesiology degrees? Do you think that post-secondary education is asked as a strength coach? Probably not. I know plenty of top-tier strength coaches who don't have a degree. And I know plenty of guys with a master's degree and a CSCS who I would describe as mediocre coaches. They're weaker than me. Their clients are weaker than mine. Didn't do them much good, did it? How often to go for a 1 rep max at powerlifting meets? Hey, Jason, what are your thoughts on vegan gains? Oh, we don't care, dude. Why? He was never in good shape. Draco, let's go back to what I said at the beginning. I live my life as if other fitness YouTubers don't exist. So if he doesn't exist, who the fuck is Vegan Gains? Why are we talking about him on my channel? Are band pull aparts better than face pulls for shoulder health? Depends on your structure. I like both. If you're going to do something like that, if you need the extra work, I think either one could work. I think it depends on which one seems to benefit you the most. I find band face pulls actually aggravate my shoulders sometimes when they were hurting. I know other people who love them. Coach, I'm on my 3+ weeks. Should I go deload or just take it easy with pressing and just continue with my squat? Yeah, if you got a pain like that, I'd go ahead and just deload. I would deload. Coach, have to write on Facebook to get coaching from you. Yeah, you can apply through Instagram, but I'm going to require you to at least have Messenger to be a client. All right. You need to have Messenger. You don't have to be active on Facebook to set up an account for Messenger. Once you get on for coaching, you'll understand why I do it that way. It'll make a lot of sense to you. Just did a 150-pound deadlift for 10 reps, and it felt easy AF on a cut of about 1,500 calories for the last few weeks. Thinking of going on a bulk and get my deadlift numbers back up. What? Some of that doesn't add up. Coach, how long do you rest between sets on accessories? I don't time it. I literally don't care. I just do my accessories. I talk to clients in between sets. So it might be a minute, it might be 10 minutes. Literally in the same 5 movements. I might have a 1-minute break and then a 10-minute break just because I'm busy in between talking to clients and stuff. I don't actually time it. Do you have any tips for elbow health? It's all about fatigue management, high rep band press downs, fatigue management, being careful with what tricep exercises you do. I think many on YouTube miss the days of the fitness community was constantly at each other's throats, so much drama. Mikey, I don't miss it. As someone who's been through that, participated in it, someone who's in the OG days where we used to have fake fights. People weren't even aware of that. We'd be friends with people and have a public fight with each other just to get publicity. You know what? I don't miss any of it. I don't miss it one bit. Not one bit at all. No desire to go back to it or even think about it. Hey, Jason, what other exercises would you recommend for grip strength for a BJJ athlete doing the chins and axle deadlifts for the 5x10 boring but big? That should be fine. How do you fit sprint work into conjugate programming off days? Coach, I saw a girl squat 135 first week in gym. Is that elite genetics for a female? She got pretty good genetics for a female. She did that her first day. Would you recommend or oppose ramping up the singles for 5-1? The warm-ups in the programs feel excessive. Sorry, guys, I'm full of food here again. Joe Maul, run it as Windler says, but those are work sets. They're not warm-ups. That's why they're fatiguing. They are work sets. They count towards your work. Hey, Coach, any idea what the minimum frequency is for maintaining explosive strength? Is it the same frequency as for maintaining? I don't know. Hey, Jason, I wake up around 6 p.m. I'm currently working out. Now it's 1:47 a.m. Man, why are you asking me these complicated ass questions about your time? What? Is there a downside of being a night out even though I have adequate sleep? Yes, it does make a difference. Do you offer live coaching sessions while clients train? No, Ben, I don't do that, dude. That would be prohibitively expensive for you. That would be expensive for you, for me to have to schedule that. Plus, what are you going to do if I'm not available? Ben, I can't be available every week like that, even if you were paying me. My lifestyle, again, clients understand my lifestyle more than the public does. They would understand why it's a problem. No, I don't do that. You record the videos and submit them. Dude, I'm not sitting in my camera watching you for 2 hours. You're going to pay me $300 an hour to do that. And we'd have to schedule it weeks ahead of time, and you'd have to pay me even if you were late. I'm not doing that shit. How do we pick accessories if we don't? And I don't even have to do that to get you elite, dude. I have guys squatting and deadlifting over 600 pounds who don't need that shit. How do we pick accessories if we don't know what our weak links are? Well, you're going to have to hire a coach, or you're going to have to just do your best guess. Is no fat help with strength gains and hypertrophy? No, not at all, not in any way. If anything, hypothetically, it may actually hinder you, but I wouldn't count on that. I could create a better argument for it hurting you. The benefits of no fapper is that it breaks porn addiction. Porn addiction is the problem. And porn addiction is a serious problem. Don't even get me started on that one. Do I have to restart the cycle after deload? I should go back to 3+ week right away. If it's due to something like that, you're going into it unhealthy, I would personally restart it. Is it more acceptable to apply a higher RPE 9 on squats and leg accessories if working lower body once a week as opposed? No. Jason, on BBB, can we eventually do 5x3 on other exercises such as good mornings? Tim, I don't understand your question. Of course. Like, why would you think you don't do any accessories? I'm actually legitimately confused. Why wouldn't you do other? You think you only do 4 exercises for the week and go home? I don't even see that, how you got to that train of thought. I don't know if you can see the confusion on my face. I look dumbfounded. Are you fucking with me? Most BJJ strength coaches I see online can barely even bench 2 plates and squat 3 plates. Well, they're not strength coaches. Thanks for the response, Jason. What would be an ideal waist circumference to strive for when cutting for someone who's 5'9", definitely not into bodybuilding? I mean, if you're much above about 36, it might be time to cut. Coach, you believe in grounding, earthing? Is that like some new age hippie stuff? Like where you smoke weed and like vibrate the crystals? No, I don't believe in hippie stuff. Do you need upper chest work if you do bench dips and dumbbell bench? No, you're already getting upper chest work. Should I rotate close grip in on my second bench day 5x5? Well, Rackham, I mean, if you need extra upper chest or front delt work, you need it. But you are working your upper chest with those exercises. Why do you often prescribe inverted rows and novices rather than pin legs bent over rows? I prescribe all of them, but I like people to be able to move their body through space. Jason, what advice do you give someone who wants to pursue bodybuilding? Really work on stretching your anus out a lot. It's going to be really helpful in your career, and I'm not even joking, because you're usually going to have to sell your booty hole if you're going to be a bodybuilder. It's part of the lifestyle. So you need to get yourself physically prepared for that. Maybe a butthole bleach kit, a good webcam, stuff like that. All the stuff you need to do G for P. And go ahead and get a good life insurance policy because you're going to die young. So your loved ones have some money. Like leave your mom and dad some money. I'm on day 7 of no FAP. Only benefits I've seen so far as the days seem longer. So do I deload right away? Dude, if your elbow's hurting from that, yeah, I would deload right now. Why are bodybuilding doses higher than powerlifting? Seems like higher doses be. Brett, they aren't. It's the whole cocktails of drugs, not necessarily the anabolics. No, I know powerlifters who use 4 and 5 grams a week. Sorry, Jason, let me rephrase. I'm normally doing 5x10 deadlifts on squat day. No, you're not running boring but big. Tim, I tell you not to do that, right? And Windler tells you not to do that. So why are you doing it? You're not running boring but big. You're running your own version where you've chosen to swap those lifts around. In spite of Windler telling you in later books not to do it, and in spite of me, someone who likes 531, telling you not to do it, you're doing something we told you not to do, and you're calling it boring but big. Okay, you don't get to define your own programs and name it that. You do 5x10 bench after your bench, not after your press. You don't do the deadlift after the squat. These are done on separate days. Okay, quit changing it. You're changing the parts that work in a system for no reason. Porn is like having crack in your pocket 20, definitely. Yeah, it's a serious addiction. Hey, Jason, what was it like the first time you shot a gun? What is your fit? Draco, I've been shooting since I was like 5 years old. I don't have a favorite gun. I have over 20. 16, 24, and 30-inch wrist wraps. 36. Why are you using those short ones? Meets allow you to go 36. Why are you using anything less than what's allowed in competition? 36, baby. I see YouTubers promoting PE. Do you believe these? What? I don't even understand what that is. What do you think about people who call themselves alpha? I think alpha and beta are just normal parts of it. How you define yourself is irrelevant, but they are part of the pecking order of male hierarchy. Anyone who doesn't believe that there's male hierarchy, clearly it was never on the playground as a kid. Can you get good upper chest work without doing upper chest work? The only upper chest work I do is a press. No, that's not going to be enough. Flat bench will work your upper chest, but the press is not the best movement. Yes, in order for a muscle to get worked, you have to do work for that muscle, right? It should be common sense. The flat bench hits the upper chest pretty well. So do dips. All those things do. Incline hits it slightly more. Closed grip bench hits it slightly more. But it's still a primary mover for those other movements. The press, it's going to be a little bit less. I had to reduce volume on the first session after I recovered from C because of my work capacity. Let's quit talking about C, guys. This is 2022. It shouldn't even be a topic. Hey, coach, why should I replace tricep press downs cable with? I don't know. What's going on with your tricep training? Oh, sorry, coach. I got boring big friend. Yeah, you don't get it from T Nation. There's books. I've shown you guys the books on camera. You have books. What's the cause of your shift in training philosophy, John? I've covered that so many times. How do you feel about pen squats for a conjugate ME lift? I think they're fine. I don't prescribe them outside of that. Grounding is a concept of walking barefoot in the dirt for long periods of time to connect to the earth. I know it sounds strange, but a lot of mainstream media covers it. Yeah, Benny, that sounds like some shit that people say who smoke too much weed. That's what it sounds like to me. Anyone who's talking about, oh, I ground to the earth, man. Like, dude, how much fucking weed do you have to smoke to come up with this sort of idea? I don't know. Maybe it's DMT, whatever drugs people take that give them these epiphanies. But this is drug induced. This is not like rational, normal thought. Jason, why do you say you need G/P to compete in bodybuilding? Because the cost of the lifestyle. Liver King eats only raw meat, smart or dumb. You mean he eats only Tren and Anadrol? Correction on Jim Wendler's website. He says it's fine to do the deadlifts. No, he doesn't, Tim. He tells you not to do it. Get up to speed. Just trying to build some arms. Jason, I heard you say that tricep press downs was bad for you. No, they're not bad for you. The press downs are usually fine. It's certain types of free weight extensions you have to be careful of. Can someone be a successful, real, natural bodybuilder? No. Hey, Jason, how did you manage training and, let's see. Walking on the ground barefoot is a bad idea, particular areas with venomous creatures. Don't do it, guys. Right? Like, it's a good way to get worms and stuff. Get parasites that way. If not for upper chest growth, why would you do the incline bench? It's an amazing front delt exercise. Is conjugate the best training system for rugby? It can be. It can be one of them. Good programming is good programming. General strength is general strength. Is it the best? No. Would it probably be in the top 3 or 4? Yes. Doesn't make it better or worse. It's going to be personality specific for your lifter. I'm doing the 5-through-1 point, the big challenge, and on that it does have the 5x10 work on the alternate days. I can't say that I would do that. It's on a T Nation website. Yeah, that's not what he has in the books. Do you think there is a way to encourage beginners to train for strength rather than being so focused on physique? I don't know how we get them over to that, Ted. Jason, what else do you do for fun in life besides working out and guns? That's about it, dude. Does sex count? I think sex counts. That's pretty much it, dude. Like I don't have other hobbies. My work is my life. All of my friends train, all of my associates train. I wouldn't even date a woman who doesn't train. So that's pretty much what I do. What are the key features of good programming? I don't know that we can define that easily right up front. Does it get results? Would you ever open your own gym, or is that business you're not interested in? The only reason to open a gym is a tax sink. They're not profitable. Everett Wendler still has that some protocol on his website. Maybe he has it. Tim, I don't know what to tell you. You're not up to speed. I'm going to quit, but quit arguing with me about it. I'm familiar with his work. I have his books. I have every book he's written. You're arguing with me, and you know that's not allowed. It's not my fault you haven't read the books. I can't help that other than I could give you an Amazon link. Go to Amazon, click my affiliate link, and then search Wendler 531, and you can have those books tomorrow. And then you don't have to argue about it. You can read the books. You can know what his current stances are, and the problem's solved. If a natural person won't look like a bodybuilder, should they just train like a power lifter? They won't look like a bodybuilder. You cannot look like a bodybuilder without drugs and site enhancement. You're going to have to use site enhancement. You're going to have to use growth hormone. You're going to have to use tren to look like a bodybuilder. I don't know what isn't being understood there. Even natural bodybuilders, quote unquote, natural bodybuilders are site enhancing. Hey, Jason, saw your recent video tutorial on how to do the good morning. I'm going to start programming them. Is it better to add these on squat days or deadlift days, or is it preference? Ooh, that's going to depend on what's going on with your programming. I've been known to add it on either one. I've been known to add it on both. Depends on where your weak links are and what other supplemental lifts you're doing, really. I would really look at the totality of your program when answering that. I don't think there's a wrong answer, though. What modifications to conjugate you make to tailor it to raw lifters? Hybrid. Watch Emma's vlogs. Emma is a raw lifter. She does conjugate. I have over 20. We're coming up on like vlog number 30. 30 weeks of her conjugate training. She pulls 3+ plates, sumo and conventional. She squats well over 200 pounds. Is a lean woman, right? All of that raw. You can look at how I coach her. You have 30 weeks of her programming, all up on my channel. So that's a textbook example. So just go check it out. We do less partials, basically, is the main thing. That's the biggest thing. I don't have raw lifters do partial work. Jason, do bodybuilders also use synthol to a degree? Site enhancement doesn't have to be synthol. Any of their gear can be injected. Natural bodybuilders still use steroids and site inject their steroids. Just because they call themselves natural doesn't mean they don't use drugs. It just means they have to possibly pass a drug test, which may not even be a blood or urine test. It may just be a lie detector. Paul, former client, how you doing? Thanks for all the info. Do you think you'll ever write an ebook on orc mode training? I might. I haven't really put it together in any meaningful way. Long term, it might happen. What's the difference between lifting for physique and lifting for strength? There really isn't. More diet than anything. Do you do heavy singles versus how closely do you watch your diet would be the only difference. Both require you to focus heavily on hypertrophy training. My girlfriend has been running 5 through and boring, but big on a 3-day version squat bench deadlift. She's made some great gains. I bet she has. Are calf raises worthwhile, coach? Not really. Maybe. I don't do them. I don't prescribe them. I'm planning to become a strength coach, just pursuing to be a physical therapist or having a degree in kinesiology, a needed background. Nope. In fact, being a physical therapist, this is something a lot of coaches I've noted. If you're a physical therapist, it will actually impede your ability to be a strength coach. The mindset is so different that usually anyone who's a physio makes a really, really bad strength coach. This has been, again, noted by a lot of coaches. Tim, yeah, just get the books. And beyond book, Wendler has a variation, whether for 5 through 1 sets, it's week 1, 5 by 10, week 2, 5 by 8. Week 3, 5. Can this work? Yeah, it can work if you choose to do it that way. Marco, it's totally doable. In fact, for some really advanced lifters, I don't think that's a bad approach. I wouldn't do it for an intermediate. Jason, I appreciate these streams. You have a vast knowledge base. Did you ever consider? Oh gosh, Cav, I feel like that's a yeah. I can see your avatar. Bye bye. You were this close to slipping through, bro. You were this close to slipping through. You almost got through my radar before I banned you. That was a really good effort, though, man. I'm going to give you an A+ for effort, little baby troll. But now you're banned. Bye-bye. Jason, what do you think using 5 through 1 for an off-season bodybuilder? This is what Matt Ogus used. I guess it's fine. I don't know. I don't coach bodybuilders. In fact, if I had a client who was a bodybuilder, I would probably tell them I don't want them as a client until they drop out of the whole bodybuilding thing. It's just not a good idea. I don't want that sort of liability. All right. Plus, if they're a bodybuilder, they might try to sell their butthole to me. They might be like, hey, coach, I'll trade you some booty hole in place of coaching fees because that's how I pay for everything because I'm a bodybuilder. My butt is the only thing I have to offer for currency. Right? Oh, disgusting ass lifestyle. All right. Anything in training or nutrition that you believe have observed, but there isn't really any evidence of as of yet? Gosh, there's probably quite a few things. But some of it, evidence emerges. Stuff like protein overfeeding and stuff, but there's now evidence for a lot of that. Any advice on neck training for contact sports? Is neck harness a good idea? That's a great idea. The trolls are evolving quickly, but they need to get more creative. They keep bringing up the same. Ben, it's not like they've had anything new for the past 5 years. They don't have anything new. It's not just in these vlogs. It's the same shit for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. You think Jay Cutler? I don't think about Jay Cutler at all. I've heard that you have struggled with anger management. Wouldn't testosterone androgen suggest? No, I don't have anger problems these days. That's the beauty of it. I previously struggled with it. So are bodybuilders lying when they claim to attract lots of women? Yes. Do you think strength athletes should use hot cold therapy for recovery? No, cold inhibits recovery. That is what the research shows. I follow a typical bro diet: chicken, rice, oats, milk, protein powder, fruits and vegetables. Thoughts, and would you change? No, I think that's fine. Hey, Jason, thoughts on Big Lenny? I don't. You ask too many troll questions. You're gone. No one gives a shit about Big Lenny or Genova or anything. What does that have to do with getting strong for sports or being jacked or strong or orc mode or having a max deadlift or powerlifting? Draco, I'm a strength coach by profession. I'm competing at Powerlifting World Championship in October. I've already paid for it. I'm qualified. I'm breaking my own state records coming up in June. All right. Where the fuck do you think you are? Just started squatting. However, my legs hurt even on a third day when I squat again. Any suggestions? Adjust your programming. Do you consider jump rope as GPP? Yes. I think jumping rope is great conditioning. I think jumping rope is great cardio and conditioning all the way around if you can do it. If you like it, knock yourself out, dude. It's good stuff. I like the idea of using 5-3-1 for main work and then rotating assistance exercise afterwards. Well, those are assistance exercises, Tim. Right? Those are assistance exercises. You program them as needed. I don't see what your question is. This is normal. This is kind of how you run these programs. I guess the answer is yeah. Of course you can do that. Everyone does that. Are you a fan of the Langham glute machine? I don't know what that is. What is your opinion on snatch grip deadlifts? I think they're good assistance movement for some people. Can you explain how an overload stimulus like reverse band squat or heavy slingshot bench does a muscle to make it stronger at the end of the range of motion? I don't think it does. Jason, realistically, in a surplus, does 500 extra calories from right versus nuts not make much of a difference? We could argue pros and cons of both. What's your opinion on body weight training every day? Is there such a thing as overtraining? If you're not careful, you can get overuse. You still need to count your total sets. Yes, overtraining is, Michael, to ask me if overtraining, is there such a thing, would be like asking me, is there such a thing as AIDS? Well, yeah, it's been medically proven, right? Is there such a thing as a flu? Yes. Is there such a thing as a heart attack? Yes. Overtraining is a diagnosable medical condition. It can be diagnosed by a sports physician. Should I squat even though I'm a little sore? Being sore is not a reason not to train. But you need to figure out what's going on with your programming. I started programming pull-ups the same way I program squat, bench, deadlift, weighted using RPE, and I have seen amazing results. Why don't people usually program pull-ups like they would? Because you can get a lot more out of just body weight for high reps. However, what you are doing does work. I don't have a problem with what you're doing. I think programming weighted body weight movements off of RPE, similar to your barbell lifts, I think it can work, and I think it does work. However, I also like the idea of going for volume with just straight body weight on these movements too. Okay? Because your main issue is you don't want to go too heavy on them. Thanks noted for recovery about using cold recovery hot baths with Epsom salt. Hot baths with Epsom salts are great for recovery. Most of my former classmates from high school and college don't even lift, yet they all have girlfriends without a problem, yet guys obsessed with aesthetics are often incels. Yes, Marco, that is correct. I know guys who are fat and don't work out and have never even seen one of their abdominals in their entire life who have smoking ass hot girlfriends and wives. I know fitness influencers with ugly ass girlfriends who have a six-pack year round. What's that tell you? Maybe do the assistance exercises for 5x10. Well, yeah, Tim, that's what a lot of people do. Look at my clients. How many of them do 5x10? Right? Watch Garrett's vlog. Okay. What's he do on bench day? We do 5x10 bench. He does 5x10 boring but big bench, and then he does 5x10 dumbbell presses for his chest. Jason, do force reps have any use, or are they just unnecessary fatigue? They're a great way to overtrain and get hurt. They don't stimulate any extra muscle growth. Thoughts on prolonged fast? I think they're stupid. Is there any value in incorporating meats other than beef or fish into a diet? Sure, you like other meats more. And having some variety adds micronutrient diversity. Would front squats carry over deadlifts more instead of the back squat because of the upper back work? Arguable. For some people, it does. Yes, for some people. Is it automatically by default going to? Not necessarily. I mean, we could make the case that in that case, maybe you should do some other back work. Wide grip versus narrow grip rows. I'm a little more inclined towards wider grip. Because usually if we're rowing, we're really concerned with the rear delts and stuff. Otherwise, we would just be doing pull-ups, chin-ups. You're trying to really emphasize those things, so you might be better off going wider. Hey, coach, sprints after lower body weight sessions okay and fit it in anywhere else? I have an MMA 8 hours later with plenty of carbs. Seneca, it's going to depend on do you need sprinting for your sport? That's the first thing I'm going to ask you. Do you need sprinting? Chris, this is not the real Chris Duffin. I'm about to ban you because the real Chris already has an open messenger conversation going with me. The real Chris Duffin has my physical address and has mailed me stuff. He didn't respond, so bye-bye. Bye-bye, little troll. Coach, what are the early signs of overuse? Oh, gosh. That calls for a deload, usually tendon inflammation. Jason, isn't RPE the same as reps in reserve? Nope. Because reps in reserve means that you know how many reps you could do. RPE is an arbitrary term that if I were to look at people's RPEs that they put up online, there's no pattern or rhyme or reason. They're just picking a random ass number. They'll say RPE 7 and it was like a 1 rep max. It's a bullshit thing. Reps in reserve is quantifiable. Hey, Jason, assuming sleep, diet, and training are dieting, what else would you recommend an athlete do to max out gains across the board? Walk, massage, meditate, anything that relaxes you. Let's come back over to all those others. They don't have direct physical benefits. They may have psychological benefits to your recovery. Do they relax you? That matters. Jason, my friend claims the deadlift doesn't build the back and all. It's mostly a hamstring grip trap exercise. Your friend is a dumb fuck. I straight up give much more attention from women when I'm bulked and a bit fluffier compared to lean with veins. I can see that. Coach, any target for total for your next meet? Sorry if you covered exactly 30 kilos more than my last meet. Do you know why? Because I'm going to put 10 kilos on each of the 3 lifts and go home. Hey, coach, what's the max amount of sets per week per body part an advanced lifter can get away with? I don't think it's a set number. Here's the question. Why do you care how much you can get away with? Do you think that's the best way to make gains? Or should you be asking, what's the minimum amount that I need to make progress and stay closer to that number? Do you think Olympic lifts are too complex for novice intermediates to implement? Probably without coaching. Hey, Jason, I don't have access to a sled. Can I just pick up plates and walk back and forth? Sure, you could, but sleds have certain benefits. Sorry if this is too personal. Have you always had a beard as an adult? If you watched my YouTube channel, you would already know the answer to this question. Do you know why? Because you've seen me with a completely shaved face and probably 200, 300, 1,000 videos. So if you watched my channel, you would already know this. Sorry, stiff leg deadlifts versus Romanian versus, oh wait, we got all buried. How'd that happen? Do you use any tools to measure bar speed during dynamic or just video? Let's see. We're about to wind this down, so let me see if there's any good questions. Hey, Marco, I'm not answering that. I've already given you guys newer videos on why I feel the way I do about the deadlift. And the actual evidence studies show that it's phenomenal for hypertrophy. So how can you be evidence-based and claim that it doesn't when the only studies that have looked at it found the hypertrophy to be ludicrously high? The only time it's ever been looked at in the lab. I follow a template quite similar to Amert's except for the rows, but my adductors get sore for days after squatting. What should I change? I don't know. I would need to really see what's going on. That shouldn't be happening. You may need to gradually build into a wider stance. Hello, Jason. The melatonin you use, is it time release? No, you do not use time release. It's less effective. Was the difference in lifting culture in the UK and the USA? Naz, you can't really compare UK to USA because USA has different cultures. The USA is massive. Like Texas alone is bigger than the UK and has a separate culture from the rest of America. Like we're like our own entire culture and world just in and of ourselves. So the lifting cultures through the US are going to be different through the US. So you don't have that sort of comparison. You're comparing a little tiny place to a giant place in terms of cultures. It doesn't work. How to get stronger to do a pull-up? Get stronger. Get your back stronger, your biceps stronger. Do inverted rows. I remember you saying you used to shave your face because of psoriasis. No, it's not under control. That's why I have the short beard. All right, let me ask you a question. Look at my neck. See my neck? Does my psoriasis look under control? Do you see the bloody lesions on my neck? I look under control? Nope. That's the best I can do. Would you coach a calisthenics athlete? What? I don't know what that is. A what? A calisthenic. What the fuck is that? What is that? Last question. This is from one of my org warriors. How long before bed should you take melatonin? About 30 minutes. About 30 minutes. What I do. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and wind this down. We've been an hour. I didn't think I was going to be able to get one of these in today. We were lucky to have gotten it in. We got a full hour. So I hope it's been informative. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope the trolls weren't a little too much today. I love you guys, and I will talk to you next time.